Anyways, Adventurer, I see you're curious about a Super Mario Maker 2 level I remade of a level from Banjo-Kazooie called Mumbo's Mountain. That's right, good ol' E-Combo. I thought we'd take a break from Zelda to appreciate other games and their level designs. Let me tell you about Rareware's famous mountain. So Banjo-Kazooie is a great game, being completely inspired by Super Mario 64 without a doubt. Not saying this is a bad thing, it's a great thing. Introducing the Baron Bird in gaming, which eventually made their way into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, my inspiration for making the level actually came from my boy Andy Rue. One day I woke up and I was in voice chat all night. That's pretty normal stuff. But I woke up to Andy Rue streaming through the Discord call, playing Banjo-Kazooie on an emulator. I thought it'd be pretty cool to surprise him by sending him a new level that I made, right? Quote, quote, send him the code to surprise him. Is from the beloved N64 game he was playing that same day. So, now the process on how I created the level. So at first, I just looked up someone on YouTube doing a playthrough of the game on their own as I watched and followed behind placing all the blocks and structures, which is how I usually make 2D remakes of 3D levels. So as the gamer played through Mumbo's Mountain, I was right behind him creating all the enemies and the terrain he came across. The player first took the route of the bridge with the water below him. Since there isn't really water mechanics available at all times in Mario Maker 2, unless you choose a specific game style as Mario Maker calls them, or as I call them, designs. I had to leave the water out completely because the default design of Mario World fit perfectly with the remake I was making. At the bridge, I made the Goblin Guys giant Monty Moles because they both make chase for the player the moment they are near. Above the bridge is the 2D version of the Jinjo that is stuck on a high platform Banjo can jump on with Kazooie's Wind Push. 5 Jinjos acts as an extra life, so inside the yellow block, I just made a 1-up. Immediately after the bridge, I placed a giant chain chomp to play the part of the bull. I went for this decision because Monty Moles as every enemy would be boring, but the Monty Moles are the only enemies in Mario that actually chase you, so I only did it for variety really. Next to the bowl was a beehive filled with honeycombs. I placed 3 blocks each filled with a mushroom to keep it nice and simple. Mushrooms acts as a life bar for Mario, as honeycombs do for Banjo and Kazooie. Another Jinjo before the mountain is there. Then we arrive at our first mountain of the level, accompanied by the sight of a beautifully placed mountain background. Thank you. Next to the hill are floating platforms that have coins in replacement of notes. They're floating because you can't go through them if they were connected to the hill. Hey, I tried my best to recreate the level, but also have it make sense with 2D Mario logic. Next, we finally arrive at our first Jiggy. In the Banjo-Kazooie games, Jiggies are pretty much like the prize for defeating Bowser's kids in Mario. They are the most important part of the games as it's necessary to collect to beat the game. In Mario Maker 2, I made them key coins as they're required to beat the stage. On top of Mountain 1 are the sheds Banjo must ground pound on to collect a Jiggy beneath them. In Mario, you need a mushroom and you'll need to spin jump on yellow blocks to burrow through and collect the next key coin. And I threw in the spring so the player is able to climb over a certain someone's home. Mumbo himself. Neighboring Mountain 1 is the ant hill as I like to call it. 2 giant Goombrats are climbing down the hill. Those are the ants. You climb into the pipe to enter the hill of the ants. So in Banjo-Kazooie, the only way to actually beat this part of the map is you have to talk to Mumbo, who has the ability to transform you into all sorts of animals or objects. You need to give him a certain amount of E-Combo-coms. I don't remember how many, but he'll trade you those and give you powers for an ant, which is able to climb on any surface. In Mario, I just made it floating platforms that take skill to jump on. The higher you go, the smaller they are. Ants as the bad guys walk around, but the real hard part is the climbing. The bridges play the part of the ants' webbing. Wait, ants can make webs? Weird. Anyways, at the top of this platforming part is another Jiggy, or in this case, a key coin. Travel down, then up another hill full of notes. On the third and final mountain are the small ruins of tilted and domino-looking humongous tablets. Banjo needs to climb and walk on top to get the Jiggy, but for Mario you need to spin jump through the center for the next Jiggy. Right above the ruins is another Jinjo waiting to be rescued. In Mario's eyes, you've gained another 1-up. On the downward slope of the mountain is the 4th Jiggy, and probably my favorite part of the level is the Great Ape section. After the mountain with the ruins is a green mushroom platform and a giant hammer bro playing as the Great Ape and the orange tree he stands on. To beat this part of the map, In B-K, you need to get the gorilla angry by trespassing in his territory and get him to unknowingly throw his oranges on the switches you stand on. I couldn't think of a real way for me to implement this puzzle in Mario Maker, so I just made it so you have to hit the switch below the tree. Dodge the hammer, bro. Acquire the last Jiggy of the level to be able to enter through the door and beat the level. Hope you enjoyed the video. I worked very hard on remaking the stage from the famous Rareware game. Took me about 2 to 3 hours straight. Lastly, the condition to beat the level is to collect every coin to really drive home the fact Banjo-Kazooie is a collectathon. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That is all for the showcase today. Thank you for listening and watching. If you would like to try out the level for yourself, the level ID, my Twitter, and my Discord are all in the description down below. Thank you for watching.